Hey everyone, this is Adarsh. In last video, which was the part 4 of the series Word Power Made Easy, in that we discussed about 5 types of liars. In this video, we'll be extending that. So if you are watching this video for the first time, I would ask you to watch that video first and then come on this video. You want to understand it in a better way. So without any delay, let's just jump right into the video. Okay, so without getting the first word of the day, we should understand a root word, right? So root word is grex or gregis, right? So whenever you come across a word, and if that word consists of these three or four letters greg, right? So it has to be related with flock or herd. What does that mean? It means group or collection of people or collection of things, right? It has to be in a group. Okay, so that is what this root word means. There are certain words related to that. One is first is gregarious. What does gregarious mean? I told you it has to be a group, right? So a person who enjoys company of people, a person who values companionship, a person who likes being around people, a person who likes going out in public and talking with random people. So that person is gregarious or social, right? That person enjoys company of people. We are human beings and we need other people to talk to. We need other people uh, to understand our emotions, or we need other people and we need to understand their emotions as well. And that's why they say also man is a social animal or man is a gregarious animal. So gregarious is someone who is outgoing, someone who enjoys companionship. These qualities are in a gregarious person. Congregate, again the same root word greg. Congregate means to bring people together in a meeting, in a group. This word is very common. Congregation, that's the noun form of this, right? Congregation means a meeting where a lot of people come together to discuss about a topic, to have a discussion. It could be a business meeting, it could be a political meeting, so it could be a business congregation or political congregation. So congregation is a meeting where a lot of people, so many people just come together and have a decent conversation as to how to improve their organization or how to work out on something. Whatever the agenda of that meeting is, they discuss about that in a congregation, right? Segregate is the opposite word. It doesn't mean to bring people together, it means to separate them. It means to put people from to to put people apart from each other. That is what segregate means, right? Aggregate is the opposite of segregate. Again, bring in the people together and have a meeting, conversation, same thing. Moving on. Now we are coming to the first word of the day. Egregious slash egregious slash Okay, so the first word of the day is an egregious liar. Egregious as an adjective means very bad and offensive. So how is it related? As I talk, these four letters are coming in that also. So how it could be very bad? Okay, let me tell you. So it is so bad that it stands out from the crowd, right? So let's just say there are five people, and five people in a group, right? Five people in a group, and there is one person who is very bad among them. Like these five are known for doing bad causes, but there is one among them who can go to any heights. Like there is no limits for him. So that person stands out from that crowd. So he's an egregious person because he's very bad and offensive. He could go to any limits to commit a certain crime, right? So an egregious liar is a very disgusting liar. A lie, I've written also, a lie you're disgusted by. That means a person doesn't really care about the ruckus it will create, the ruckus that his lie is going to create. It could be a leader, a leader, political leaders. They lie about certain things. They make fake promises to farmers and people who are poor. They say that we'll give this much money to farmers, we'll pull people out of poverty. So they make these promises and then they forget about it. So what is that? It is an egregious lie because they are playing with the emotions of people. So it is a disgusting lie. They are taking advantage of people's innocence. because they are reposing faith in them, but they are taking advantage of it. So what is it? It is an egregious lie. They're making a lie which is disgusting, which is taking advantage of people's emotions, right? So egregious is very bad or offensive. The synonyms could be disgusting, distasteful, heinous. Another word, heinous. Heinous is also very bad, right? Crime. So like egregious. What is egregious crimes? Is stealing a crime? It's a crime, but it's not an egregious crime because it is not hurting people, right? But lying in front of so many people that provide you this service and then going back at it, it is an egregious lie because you're playing with the emotion. It is an and murder. Yeah, murder is an egregious crime. Rape is an egregious crime. So yeah, heinous is another word for egregious, or it could be disgusting, distasteful. I already told you. Detestable, 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 and what else could be detestable? Yeah, there is one more word for that. Abominable, abominable. Abominable. So these all words mean very bad or offensive. Egregious, very bad, offensive, heinous, abominable, disgusting, distasteful, detestable. All these words fit for this adjective egregious. Moving on. A glib liar. Glib means smooth, right? So a person who lies effortlessly, that means lie is sitting on his tongue. His tongue is ready to be lying, right? So he doesn't have to make any effort. So his lies can be really believable, but because of the very same reason that it's very easy for him to lie, he gets caught. What does that mean? It means that his lies are too true to be believable. His lies are, his response in lying is too quick. It's really quick that people, people are pretty skeptical. Skeptical means doubtful. Skeptical. Skeptical. Skeptical about his lies. They're very doubtful whether he's saying something is true or not. So they are doubtful about the truthness of that lie. A glib liar, a smooth and effortless liar, but gets caught because of the very same reason. So he lies, and his lies are very believable also, but they are too true. They're too true to be true. His response is too quick to be true, right? So if you're a glib liar, you can't get away with it because you'll be caught eventually. Maybe first 3 times you can get away with that, but eventually after 5-6 minutes people will figure out that it was a lie because it is too good to be true, right? Moving on to the next slide. An unconscionable liar. Unconscionable liar. It is pretty much similar to egregious liar, but egregious, the intensity of that word is quite high, so we would not relate that with that word with this word. Unconscionable liar is a liar without conscience and regret, right? So an unconscionable liar is someone who lies as long as it benefits him, right? If he doesn't really care about the consequences about the lie, pretty much similar to the egregious, but he still has certain limits. He doesn't have any principles, he doesn't have any shame in the lie he's making, but still he cannot go as far as an egregious liar goes, right? So an unconscionable liar is someone without conscience and regret. He doesn't regret about the lies he's making. He only thinks about the agenda of lying getting fulfilled. He doesn't really care about any harm that his lie may be doing, or he is completely indifference. He has built a indifference to the consequence of his lying. He only thinks about his purpose of lying. He only has one goal, that he has to make this thing work, and for that he can lie as much as he has to, and apart from that he is completely impervious to the consequences. He is completely impervious to anything else. That impervious, again, impervious. Impervious means indifference. Indifference, again, when you are unaffected by something, then indifference. What is happening around you, it doesn't really affect you, so you have built an indifference, and you are as a person or indifferent person. So he is impervious or indifferent towards the consequence of his lying. So he doesn't have any principles, he doesn't have any shame, he doesn't have any conscience and regret or remorse is again the synonym of regret. So he's not remorseful, he is not regretting about his lying, he's only thinking about his agenda of lying getting fulfilled, right? Another word can be mortification, embarrassment, or shame or embarrassment. So that person is not mortified or is not embarrassed about the fact that he's lying. So he's not shameful, he's not embarrassed, or he's not mortified. This is the word. It's a very important word, not pretty commonly used, but yeah, you can know that. Mortified. He's not mortified. He's not ashamed of his behavior of lying. He's not embarrassed about his lying. He doesn't have any principles. He doesn't have any conscience or regret. He just lies as long as it benefits him. Got it. Moving on to the next slide. Again, before understanding the next word, we need to understand the root word chronos. Chronos means time, right? So first word is anachronistic. Anachronistic. I'm not pretty sure whether it is pronounced in that way. Just do check it out. I think it will be pronounced anachronistic. Anachronistic is out of time or out of date. So something which is outdated. It is not only something of the past, it could be something of the future as well, but it is not relevant in this time period. So it could be a thing of the past or it could be a thing of the future. So let's take example one by one. If we talk about the past, uh, if you're watching a movie, right, if you're watching a movie, in that movie they are showing something of the past, right, where people are not wearing clothes. I mean, in ancient times people didn't have clothes. So like if you're watching a movie of mankind, like the evolution of mankind, let's just say, so in that people don't have clothes to wear, so they are wearing the leaves of trees, and right. So this, what is this? This is an anachronistic visualization of a thing. This is an anachronistic description of the past, right? Because it is not relevant in this time. You don't see people walking around who are not wearing clothes, or who are wearing leaves on their body, right? You don't see that happening in this time, so it is irrelevant to this time. It is a thing of the past, so you can say that it's an anachronistic thing. Or uh, like if we talk about robots, robots are already existent in this time period, but still anything that is going to be invented in future, if we visualize or imagine that only, then that also is anachronistic. So something which is not relevant in this time, but it could be a thing for future, or it could be a thing of the past, right? So that thing is anachronistic. Moving on to the next word, incongruous. Again, irrelevant or out of place. So if you're going to a party, let's just say if you're going for an interview, and in that interview you're wearing t-shirt and jeans, what is it? Your dressing sense is incongruous, because you're supposed to be wearing formal clothes if you're going for an interview, but you're wearing completely irrelevant clothes, and for that you may be, you may get disqualified. So incongruous is out of place. You're not with the power of uh, the demanding of that place. The going for an interview demands you to wear formal clothes, but you're wearing t-shirt and jeans. So what is it? It is irrelevant or out of place. Chronological, incorrect time order. you know uh, uh, you are born in this world, and then you go to school, and then you go to college, then you graduate, and then you look out for yourself for getting yourself a job. So this is a chronology, right? You're doing things in order. It's a time order that you have to follow if you are in this world, if you're in the society. So what is it? This whole process is chronological. Moving on to the next word, the same thing, a chronic liar who lies over and over unreasonably, right? So yesterday I had given you example of lying to your teacher about not completing your homework, and then coming up with excuses to convince him that you actually did the work, but you didn't. You forgot the notebook at home, right? So what is it? So right, so next day, one day you told your teacher that I forgot the copy, but you hadn't completed your homework. Next day also that teacher is asking for the copy. he would be saying, okay, today you might have brought the copy along with yourself, but again you're lying that okay, I lost the notebook. So next day so the teacher gave you a deadline. He said that okay, I'm giving you 5 days, and in those 5 days you have to make new copy, new notebook, and you have to complete your homework. But after 5 days also you came up with something, some other excuses to escape from that punishment of the teacher. So what is it now? It is, even the teacher is aware of the fact that you are lying. You also know that teacher is pretty much convinced that you're only lying, but you're still lying. So what are you doing? You're lying over and over without any reason, because you both know that you're lying. And instead of admitting that you lied and you haven't completed your homework, you're coming up with new and new lies over and over again. So you are a chronic liar in that case. So that's pretty much about it. There's one type of liar which is still left, but which is a pathological liar. Uh, but pathology, it's a root word, and it in itself is a chapter. So it will take a bit more time to describe it or explain it. So we'll extend that to the next part. So for today, that's it. Bye.